The low hum of the air conditioner did little to break the weight in the room. Maverick leaned against the kitchen counter, fingers absently tapping the cool marble. His eyes fixed on Rora as she sat curled in the armchair across from him, phone in hand, scrolling with a tight frown etched between her brows. That look, he knew it too well. It always came after a call from her mother. Margaret Holloway had a voice like a scalpel, precise, cold, and unrelenting, and her disapproval seeped into their marriage like water through hairline cracks, slowly warping everything. She thinks we should have booked a villa in Tuscany, Aurora muttered without looking up. Her voice was clipped, brittle, apparently. A weekend in the mountains is quaint. Maverick swallowed a sigh, the word landing like a slap. Quaint, Margaret's favorite euphemism for anything beneath her standards. For years, she had sneered at their choices, their furniture, their holidays, but mostly at him, a high school history teacher who didn't come from money, didn't own a firm, and hadn't made partner in anything but patience. Early in their marriage, he tried to win Margaret over. Dinners, gifts, respectful conversation. But after 5 years of being measured and found lacking, Maverick had stopped trying. We agreed the cabin was what we wanted, he said quietly, pushing away from the counter. His voice even but firm. Your parents don't get a say in how we celebrate our marriage. Rora looked up then. Her hazel eyes flickered with something, guilt, maybe, or irritation. It's not about a say. It's about appearances. You know how she is, appearance. Another Holloway mantra. Their apartment, with its exposed brick, glass chandeliers, and industrial chic windows overlooking the slick streets of downtown Boston, had never really been for them. It had been curated an exhibit for Margaret's approval, and somewhere in between impressing her mother and reshaping her life to fit someone else's taste. Aurora had stopped seeing Maverick at all that night as he sat on the couch grating history essays. Rora emerged from the bedroom in a fitted black dress he didn't recognize. Her perfume, something floral and upscale, lingered in the air as she adjusted a diamond stud in her ear, the same pair he'd saved 6 months to afford. Date night? He asked, managing a smile. She glanced at him quickly. Meeting Clara for drinks. She's going through a rough patch. Divorce stuff. At 10 p.m.? She's a night owl, Rora said too lightly, still avoiding his gaze. Don't wait up. The door clicked shut behind her. Maverick stared at the glowing screen in his lap, the student essays blurring. Clara? The same Clara who texted him just last week, asking if Aurora was okay and saying she'd missed 3 book club meetings. His fingers hovered over his phone, tempted to call, but suspicion felt far and ugly and cheap. He shoved the phone aside. The call came at 2 a.m. Maverick woke in a panic, heart pounding, reaching for the phone with shaking hands. Aurora's side of the bed was still cold, untouched. The screen displayed an unknown number. Mr. Carter, this is Officer Briggs. Your wife's been in a car accident. She's stable. At Mass General. The drive was a blur of red lights and wet pavement. He barely remembered parking, only the pounding of his heart as he ran into the emergency room. There she was, perched on a gurney, bandaged, shaken, her dress streaked with dirt and gravel. Relief surged in him until he saw the man standing beside her. Tall, immaculately dressed, confident in a way that didn't need words. The man's hand lingered on Rora's shoulder with a familiarity that set Maverick's jaw tight. You must be Maverick, he said, offering his hand. Lucas Green. I was driving by when I saw the accident. Lucky I stopped. Lucky, Maverick echoed, gripping his hand with mechanical precision. Rora wouldn't meet his eyes. Thanks, he said. I'll take it from here. There was something unspoken in Lucas's smile as he stepped aside. Something Maverick couldn't place, like a man watching a show whose ending he already knew. The ride home was suffocating. Aurora stared out the window, arms crossed, her voice barely above a whisper. It was just a skid. The road was slick. Where was Clara? Silence. Then, I needed space. Maverick gripped the wheel, his fingers bloodless around the leather. Space from him, from the life they built. The question lodged like a thorn in his throat, but he said nothing. The next morning, he found it, the earring she hadn't worn that night, resting on the passenger seat, a tiny glint in the sunlight. He picked it up, stomach churning. Then came the scent, cologne, spicy, bold, unfamiliar. Not his. That afternoon, He scrolled through Aurora's Instagram. Her latest post was a filtered selfie at a rooftop bar he didn't recognize. Captioned, *midnight therapy. Dated the same night she claimed to be consoling Clara. In her sunglasses reflection, he spotted the silhouette of a man leaning at the bar smirking. Lucas. From that moment, everything shifted. He began noticing the whispers in the hallway on late-night calls, the new lingerie folded neatly in an untouched Bloomingdale's bag, the way she flinched when he touched her, like his skin burned. One afternoon, while she was out, Maverick opened her desk drawer. Beneath a pile of design magazines was a receipt from the Liberty Hotel. 2 weeks ago. Room 1203. King bed. He sat in her chair, the paper trembling in his hand. 5 years. 5 years of swallowing Margaret's contempt, of enduring icy silences and forced smiles. For this, a soft ping broke the stillness. Rora's laptop left open, lit with a notification. An email from Lucas. Can't stop thinking about last night. Meet me tomorrow. Maverick closed his eyes. The world tilted. That evening, he waited. At the dining table, the hotel receipt and the lone earring lay in the center like evidence in a quiet trial. Aurora walked in, and her expression faltered when she saw them. Care to explain? Her face drained. For a heartbeat, he thought. She might lie. But her jaw lifted, and she met his gaze. You weren't enough, she said. You'll never be enough. The words cracked through the air like glass shattering on tile. Maverick stood. His voice, when it came, was low and even. Pack your things. I want you gone by tonight. She didn't beg. She didn't cry. She dragged her suitcase down the hallway, the wheels rattling like chains behind her. The door slammed. Silence fell, thick and final. 2 days later, a letter arrived. Margaret's handwriting. A check enclosed $50,000. A single line scrawled. Beneath, for your discretion. Maverick tore it in half and dropped it into the trash. That night, he drove to the Liberty Hotel. The earring sat in his palm, slick with sweat. The clerk behind the desk, after a hesitant glance, confirmed it. Room 1203. But he's not alone. Maverick took the stairs. Outside the room, laughter drifted through the door. Aurora's voice, bright and carefree. He raised his fist, ready to knock, then paused. You're better than this. He placed the earring on the doormat and walked away. Let her explain that to her lover. A week later, the divorce papers came. He signed them in silence. That night, as he boxed up her perfume, bottles, and never-used wedding album, his phone buzzed. Unknown number. She's pregnant. He stared at the screen, breath frozen, heart thudding. Then he blocked the number and poured himself a whiskey. Let Lucas deal with the fallout. 3 days passed. The apartment was still quiet, boxes untouched. On the 4th morning, another voicemail. Margaret's voice, sharp as ever. We need to discuss this situation. My office, noon. He deleted it. At 11 a.m. A knock. Lucas Green stood in the doorway, smug and self-satisfied. Carter, we need to talk. Maverick stepped aside. Lucas sauntered in, glancing around like a man touring a rental. Cozy, he said, smirking. You always were sentimental. Get to the point. Lucas pulled a folded ultrasound photo from his jacket, sliding it across the counter. Congratulations, you're going to be a dad. Maverick stared. The room seemed to shift. That's not possible. Lucas chuckled. Check the date. That baby's yours. But here's the thing, Aurora doesn't want it. Neither do I. Maverick's vision tunneled. Why tell me? Because you're the noble one, right? Lucas shrugged. Figured. You'd want to clean up your mess. The punch landed before Maverick even realized his hand had moved. Lucas staggered, blood blooming on his lip. She's at the clinic. He spat. Right now. Maverick didn't think. He ran. At the clinic. A nurse tried to stop him, but he pushed past her. Heart pounding. He found Aurora alone, pale under sterile lights. Maverick, is it true? She clutched the clipboard. Mascara streaked down her cheeks. I didn't know what else to do. You don't get to decide this alone. The nurse hovered in the doorway. Maverick stepped. Closer. You don't want it. Fine. But that child is mine. I'll raise it. Aurora blinked, stunned. Sign the custody papers, he said quietly, or I'll see you in court. The battle was swift and savage. Margaret's lawyers threw everything they had. But Maverick came prepared: emails, receipts, hotel surveillance, the truth buried in smug smiles and secret rooms. In court, Aurora's composure shattered. Margaret's check became Exhibit B. Maverick won full custody. He moved into a modest apartment near the Charles River. The walls were bare but peaceful. The only thing on the fridge was the ultrasound. He read parenting books at 3 a.m. hands trembling as he built the crib. The night before the due date, his phone lit up. Aurora's voice broke through. "It's happening. I'm at Mass General." He hung up. Hours later, a nurse placed a newborn in his arms, a girl. Pink-faced and howling, Aurora's nose and his stubborn frown. "Sophia," he whispered. As dawn lit the sky, he spotted Aurora in the hallway, hand pressed to the glass, her reflection faded and small. He turned away, cradling his daughter. Some betrayals, he realized, are blessings in disguise.